Hi guys, welcome to the basic sessions. The basic sessions in which we look at some fundamental questions, some easy questions just to get you started. And if you're struggling with a particular topic, then these videos are great to spend some time getting to the root of the problem. This question is about interest rates. A sum of money doubles itself at a compound interest in 15 years. Okay, so I'm not going to read further. I have a lot of information in the first line. First, I'm going to digest that. A sum of money doubles itself at a compound interest in 15 years. Right. So, in 15 years, what is the formula for compound interest, first of all? The formula is that the amount is equal to the original principal times 1 plus whatever rate was 100 to the power of time. So, let's say 15. Yeah, because the time is 15 years. What we get to know is that it has doubled itself, which means that A is equal to this number is equal to 2p. Okay, which means we can substitute this as 2p. Alright, so eliminate this. Instead of that, we put 2p there. So now both sides have p and p multiplying on both sides, so we can divide both sides by p and we cancel out the p. So what we get to know here is that 1 plus r over 100 to the power of 15 is equal to 2. It's equal to the number 2. Okay, alright. With that, we move on. In how many years it will become 8 times? First of all, the English to that question is wrong. In how many years it will become 8 times is not the way to phrase it. Well, I've taken these questions from GMAT Club forum. It has tons of questions to practice. However, you'll have to excuse some of the wording sometimes. The grammar of many of the questions is certainly off. However, it does give you an infinite amount of number of questions to practice with. So it is free. So it is a good source. Okay, if you want to keep your budget, if you want to prepare in the budget. In how many years will the amount, the sum of money, become 8 times? Okay, so in 15 years it becomes double. Alright, let's start. Actually, this entire working was very useful. However, now what I need to do is basically I need to get 2 cube, right? So I need to get 2 cube as my destination, right? Which is 2 to the power of 3. Which means this entire block needs to be going to the power of 3. Okay, now how exponents works is that you take these two numbers and you multiply them, because it is something to the power of 15 cube. So basically x to the power of 45. Right, now within this 45 years, in how many years will it become 8 times? Okay, in how many years from now, I'm guessing, because okay, the wordings is off, so we'll assume how many years from now. It has been already 15 years, so we are already at, out of these 45 years it was supposed to take. So if we started at $100, okay, it took 15 years to get to $200. The question is how much we wanted to get to 800 times, right? 8 times, $800. The question is, from this point where we are at now, how much more time will it take? The total was 45, out of which 15 years have passed, so we'll need 30 more years, so this should be A. Okay, that is how you'll solve this problem. Now, there were a couple of things that I went through here, which were difficult to digest, so I'm going to actually look at it in the next slide with a simpler example. Let's say you have $100, okay? When in a given question, you don't have numbers given. Let's say in this question, a sum of money doubles itself. Okay, we don't know the interest rate, we don't know the sum of money. We can actually assume it to be 100. The initial sum is 100 and the amount is 200. Okay, now this amount it reaches in 15 years at whatever rate it is going. Yeah. So what will happen is that, as I saw earlier, whenever you get confused, you can just straight away put the formula and you will realize that, okay, 100 times something at whatever the interest was growing to the power of 15 gave you 200, right? So what we got to know is that this block of to the power of 15 was 2. Now if my aim was 800, then I need 800 equal to into box of 15. I'll just use that because I know that is equal to 2. How many times do I need that? So I know this is 2, so 8 is equal to box to the power of 15 is 2, so I'll substitute this here. It'll become 2 to the power x. So what I get is x has to be 3, which I need. Basically I need x, in place of x I need to put 3, which refers to 3 times 15, 45 years. So you can use numbers like 100, 800, 200 to simplify a problem like this, and let's differentiate it from simple interest. So next slide. If I had 100, I'm going to give you a simpler problem just to simplify this situation. In case of simple interest, what would happen is that 100, if it was becoming 200 in 15 years, then give it another 15 years and it would have become 300. Okay, give it another 15 years and it would have become $400. So every 15 years you would have gotten $100. That's what happened. That's what would have happened in simple interest. But in compound interest, what happened was that this 100 became 200 in 15 years. Okay, if you gave it another 15 years, this would become 400, because this 15 years it took to double. Another 15 years it would take to double whatever it already is. So from 200 to 400. And then, you've guessed it, the final 15 years would help to double it one more time to 800. And now that's the difference between the two. Okay, in simple interest, you get plus 100 every 15 years, plus 100 every 15 years, plus 100. Okay, and in compound interest it multiplies. So that's the difference between these two. I'll give you another analogy and then I will stop this video. I promise I don't intend to make it so long, but I'm working on these beginner fundamentals series, the easy question series, so I thought I'll give it some extra effort into this. So simple interest is like every 15 years, basically $100 of yours is invested, and whatever interest is generated, so these $100 every 15 years gets sent to your home. Okay, which means in the system, always at any point of time, your money, how much is invested? Only the original $100. And that's why it's always generating the same amount of interest within the same given time period, $100 in 15 years, right? Because whatever is the interest, it gets sent home in an envelope to you. It doesn't get invested back. In compound interest, that money, whatever interest is being generated, is getting invested back into the system. That's why this 100 for the next 15 years, for the second 15 years, this period here, you will notice that you didn't invest $100 anymore, you invested $200, which became $400, right? And that's the basic difference. In compound interest, the interest that is generated gets reinvested into the system. It gets added to the principal. So your principal, the money that you're investing over a period of time, over every block of 15 years, gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's why your returns are higher as well. Right? I hope that clears it. With that, I'll leave you to solving more problems. See you in the next video. Bye.